Black Panther is one of the most important characters in the entire Marvel universe, and it's not just because he's part of all these crazy crossover events, but it's also because he was the first black superhero in mainstream comics. And, fun fact, he was created 3 months before the Black Panther Party, so contrary to popular belief, that is not where he got his name from. Though most people only know about Black Panther from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I think that's a shame. So today, let's take a look at his comic book history and origins.
As the prince of the African country Wakanda, T'Challa is the son of T'Chaka, and a mother who died during childbirth. From the moment he was born, T'Challa was trained to take over his father's role as Black Panther, his country's spiritual and government leader. My favorite quote is that it's sort of like being Pope, President, and the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff all at once. His father's reign would end when a man named Ulysses Claw murdered him, but the young T'Challa tried to avenge his father by shooting Claw with his own gun, but only managed to get his hand. Because of his age, T'Challa's uncle became the Black Panther in his stead, and shortly thereafter, T'Challa traveled the world to train his body and mind, kind of like Batman. On this journey, he rescued a superpowered girl from being captured by men trying to exploit her abilities. This was Ororo Monroe. That's a tongue twister. But you might know her better as the X-Man Storm. The two of them fell in love, but they drifted apart because of T'Challa's drive for revenge against Claw. It's not known where he went after leaving Storm, but at some point during his walkabout, T'Challa attended the best schools in America and England, where he mastered many sports and acquired a PhD in physics. T'Challa is insanely smart, like he is one of the most intelligent people in the entire Marvel universe. Now, though the Black Panther title is hereditary, it still has to be earned. Once a year, any Wakandan can challenge the king for the throne, so when T'Challa returned home from his walkabout, he successfully defeated his uncle. However, before T'Challa could become Black Panther, he needed to be deemed worthy by the Panther God, and after eating a special heart-shaped herb, he was successfully judged and gained the throne along with his Black Panther powers. These include your usual superhero cocktail, super strength, speed, durability, endurance, and reflexes, along with a keen sense of smell, night vision, and a mild healing factor to boot. So in the comics, Black Panther first appeared in a few issues of the Fantastic Four, whom he invited to Wakanda to test his skills by hunting them. But hey, at least they all became friends afterwards. This cameo was followed by some adventures with Captain America, which led to T'Challa being personally invited to join the Avengers, which he did. For years, Black Panther was a valuable member of the team, and even supplied them with their famous Quinjet, as well as designing the Falcon's vibranium wings. Of course, with T'Challa spending a lot of time avenging overseas, there were attempts to seize his throne, which prompted Black Panther to leave the Avengers and focus on ruling his kingdom. That's a pretty good choice. Now, after a massive war between two alien races, the Kree and the Skrulls, a secret meeting of powerful heroes was held in Wakanda. The heroes? Iron Man, Professor X, Black Bolt, Namor the Submariner, Doctor Strange, Mr. Fantastic, and of course, Black Panther. To prevent another travesty, Iron Man proposed that they create the Illuminati, a secret group to pool information and stop big events before they happen. The only one opposed was Black Panther, leading the others to continue on without him. Instead, Black Panther went around looking for magic frog statues, dated a jazz singer, protected his throne from being taken over many times, fought the KKK, and even battled the powerful demon Mephisto. Because of all these adventures, T'Challa never settled down or produced an heir to continue his bloodline. So when his stepmother told him to go find a wife, T'Challa rekindled his relationship with Storm, and the two got married. Right in the middle of the superhuman civil war, arguing about the rights to a secret identity and vigilantism. Originally, the royal couple stayed out of it, but right before the wedding ceremony, T'Challa tried to get both sides' leaders, Captain America and Iron Man, to hash out their differences by taking advantage of Wakanda's neutral grounds. That didn't work out, and after their friend Goliath was killed by Iron Man's forces, Black Panther and Storm joined Captain America's side, only for them to lose. Spoilers. After the war, the duo joined the Fantastic Four, when Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman decided to take a break. There they did the usual fantastic stuff, like fighting the Silver Surfer, and helping the physical embodiment of the universe not die, because comics. After leaving the Fantastic Four, Black Panther helped fight against a Skrull invasion and later fell into a coma after being attacked by Dr. Doom when he refused to join the Cabal, which is basically an evil Illuminati. While in his coma, T'Challa's half-sister Shuri took over as Black Panther, but when he awoke, T'Challa lost his Black Panther powers. Of course, he didn't want to be useless, so T'Challa turned to alchemy to enhance his strength. It turns out, though, that Dr. Doom was also manipulating a resistance movement inside of Wakanda, leading to the Doomwar, where he tried to steal all of the country's main resource, vibranium. In response, T'Challa straight up rendered all of the Wakandan vibranium inert, completely making his nation's most valuable thing completely useless. Needless to say, people were pissed, so he went to New York to fill in for Daredevil, who had just left after being taken over by a demon. Don't worry, Daredevil got better and came back, leading T'Challa to return to Wakanda. Back home, T'Challa ventured into the Wakandan city of the dead and was blessed by the Panther god as her own personal Black Panther and King of the Dead. This came with spiffy powers, including those he normally had as Black Panther and the knowledge of every Black Panther before him, kind of like the Avatar. Yet when a powerful cosmic entity known as the Phoenix came to Earth, the Avengers and the X-Men went to war over if they should embrace it or kill it. Though not with fire, because the Phoenix is fire, kind of. Storm sided with the X-Men, but T'Challa sided with the Avengers. If that wasn't enough to strain their relationship, Storm's ally Namor flooded the Wakandan capital, so she was branded a traitor by association, and her marriage was annulled by Black Panther himself. Soon after the Avengers vs. X-Men event, universes started smacking into each other, so Black Panther calls together the Illuminati to solve it. These were the Incursions, and if one universe wasn't destroyed before it crashed into the other, both universes would be lost. So alongside the Illuminati, Black Panther literally helped destroy entire universes in secret. Unfortunately though, this required T'Challa to work alongside Namor, who was still considered to be an enemy of Wakanda after that whole flooding thing. So when his sister found out, she banished T'Challa from Wakanda, but they made up right before she was killed by the Mad Titan Thanos, who was invading Wakanda in search of one of the Infinity Gems. Not that it matters though, because all of the universes were eventually destroyed in the Incursions, leaving only the patchwork planet of Battleworld in its place, and it's comprised of all the bits of the Marvel multiverse that the writers thought were cool. Oh, and its god was Dr. Doom. Now, all of the Marvel characters that you know and love were on Battleworld, but only if you remember a time before it. And since Black Panther got onto a magic spaceship before the final incursion, he was one of the few with memories. Comics sure are great, right guys? On Battleworld, Black Panther used the power of the Infinity Gauntlet to help take down God Doom, but also all of the Marvel zombies because of his King of the Dead powers. Don't worry if that doesn't make sense, because some cosmic shenanigans and Black Panther using one of the Infinity Gems basically made Secret Wars and the final incursion not happen, but T'Challa still has memory of everything, so kinda did? Now in the rebooted Marvel Universe, T'Challa is back as the only Black Panther, is the King of Wakanda, is trying to bring his sister back to life, and leads a superhero team called the Ultimates, which is a pretty big deal considering they turned freaking Galactus the Eater of Worlds into the Creator of Worlds in issue 2.
So yeah, Black Panther is one of the most important parts of the entire Marvel Universe. And if you want to learn more about his adventures, then I'd recommend reading Black Panther Volume 4 from 2005, Doomwar, and the current Black Panther run, which is Volume 6, which started in 2016.
But who would you like me to talk more about in the future? Storm or the Illuminati? Or if you want to learn more about the guy T'Challa made wings for, then just click that annotation right there to learn everything you need to know about Falcon, aka the current Captain America. But if you want to support the channel, then you can always like, subscribe, favorite, all that great stuff. But I would really appreciate it if you took a look at my Patreon. There's a link in the description down below, and with your help, I can make this show even better, and I can make it more often. So please go take a look at it, but no pressure. I love you anyway. You're my friend. Goodbye.